The pretext of this is they want to build enough support for court packing. That's the real goal, is they don't want the next president, which they hope is Biden, to just appoint 2 new justices. They want to appoint like 5 new justices so they can have a solid liberal majority going further. So the entire point here is not just to discredit Alito and try to get him to, kind of work the ref for the upcoming decisions are coming down, but really to delegitimize the entire court so they can come back later and add a whole bunch of new justices.
Welcome to The Debrief, where we talk with the Washington Examiner's top journalists about the headlines they're covering and where the story's going next. I'm Sarah Bedford, and I'm here with commentary editor Conn Carroll. Conn, President Joe Biden just authorized the release of millions of barrels of gasoline from the Strategic Petroleum Reserve. What was he hoping to accomplish with this?
Well, actually, I'm going to have to correct you there.
Oh.
It was actually not millions, it was 1 million.
1 million.
And it wasn't
Thank
from
you.
the Strategic Petroleum Reserve.
Wow, I just butchered that question.
Totally.
All right.
It was from the Northeast Oil Reserve,
Okay.
which is actually relatively new. It's only been around since 2014 when it was created in the wake of Hurricane Sandy.
Okay.
So this is a much smaller reserve. The Strategic Petroleum Reserve, which you referenced earlier, has a maximum of like 700 million barrels of oil, whereas this is just 1 million.
Okay.
And not only was it just recently created, Congress also just this March, when they passed the spending bill, basically told Biden that he had to wind it down. He had to get rid of it.
Why?
Well, this is crazy. I'm glad you're sitting down. They actually ended a government program for once.
No way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Isn't that cool? So they had this petroleum reserve. They realized it was kind of small and worthless, and they actually shut down a government program.
Okay.
So Congress actually told Biden he had to do this, but that's not how Biden played it in the media. He had his advisors go out there and he sent out this tweet saying, "Oh, I'm strategically trying to bring down gas prices."
I fell for it myself. The
well,
narrative.
I'm here to help you. I'm here to help you. The rhetoric of I'm trying to manage gas prices lower for the summer by strategically releasing this month, but really this was mandated by Congress just a couple months ago, and it wasn't millions. It's 1 million over a course of a month, so it's 10 separate sales of 100,000 barrels each time. And this is all considering that America consumes 9 million barrels a day.
So this is not going to do much to lower gas prices.
It's not going to do anything.
Democrats are seemingly getting increasingly desperate heading into November, and they're now sort of setting their sights on the Supreme Court. Joe Biden, as recently as this week, talked about, the next president may get to appoint a couple of Supreme Court justices. Do you think that the effort to make the Supreme Court a thing for 2024 is wise, effective?
It's better than anything else he's got, but their ambition is much more than just 2 justices. If the plan is to, so what happens is you have a bunch of stories, two stories recently, attacking this time specifically Justice Alito about some flags he flew at his
Flaggate,
like an upside down flag for a day at his personal residence, and then the Appeal to Heaven flag at his beach residence 3 years ago. So they're attacking Alito over this. The pretext of this is they want to build enough support for court packing. That's the real goal, is they don't want the next president, which they hope is Biden, to just appoint 2 new justices. They want to appoint like 5 new justices so they can have a solid liberal majority going further. So the entire point here is not just to discredit Alito and try to get him to, kind of work the ref for the upcoming decisions are coming down, but really to delegitimize the entire court so they can come back later and add a whole bunch of new justices.
Flaggate involved, as you mentioned, the Appeal to Heaven flag.
Yes.
And we just recently learned that until about a day ago, the San Francisco City Hall was flying this flag outside. Do you think Flaggate is on its last gasps, or is this the start of what you describe as this sort of broader effort to delegitimize the court heading into 2024?
I mean, I hope it keeps going. It's so ridiculous. I mean, they had this one story about the upside down flag for a couple days from January 6th, 3 years ago. Then they had this new one coming up. I hope they come up with a new one every week. I think it'd be exciting, maybe educate the American people about the different flags they've had throughout the past. But as you mentioned before, this is a flag that has been flying outside of San Francisco City Hall since 1964, and then all of a sudden this Monday they very quietly did not raise it again. They took it down. They didn't issue a statement, they didn't give an explanation, but the San Francisco Chronicle, the local paper, asked why, and they basically said this flag has become associated with groups of people that don't reflect our city's values. They didn't name who, but they're literally admitting that the thing was fine until literally just this past Monday, and then all of a sudden the flag was racist for some reason.
Right. Well, because the New York Times said so.
Yes.
So. Conn, thank you so much for being here
Absolutely.
today. You can get more writing from Conn and the rest of the commentary team at washingtonexaminer.com.